this event, during which protesters gave the name Sodom to Pittsburgh. A 13,000-man militia was raised to deal with. That's correct. My student. To deal with this event, which arose in western Pennsylvania after a domestic and 5 points for you. Lewis Brandeis contributed to the defense fund for this event, for which funds were also raised by Felix Frankfurter. In 1977, Michael Dukakis issued a statement acknowledging that the results of this event, which took place in both Bridgewater and Braintree, that is 5 points for you. One leader of FEMA resigned after being told, "You're doing a heck of a job," after this. 6 points for you there. This activist was charged with violating the Comstock laws for distributing her newsletter, The Woman Rebel, in mail. This activist who published is 5 points for you. Yeah. That was heavy for a bot. Yes. Question 5. Yeah, that's put down here. Okay. All right. So we're all caught up now, and we're going to continue with lesson 5. A citizens committee created by Earl Warren in the aftermath of this event claimed that that's incorrect, my student. That the existence of race prejudice cannot be ignored. Members of the Pachuco subculture were among those targeted during this 1943 event, which occurred in Los Angeles. For the points, Zoot Suit riots, and that's going to be 4 points per year. One of this composer's works was written in response to a speech by Henry A. Wallace, and he also created connotations for the New York Philharmonic, Buckaroo Holiday, and Ranch House. Copeland, and that's 5 points for you there. After the Petticoat affair, John Berrien resigned, allowing this man to become Attorney General, though an 1834 rejection of his nomination as Secretary of the Treasury caused this man to be the first cabinet nominee to be rejected by the Senate. While Chief Justice, this man ruled that that was 5 points for you there. In one of this author's poems, the speaker says, "I too sing America," asserting his place in a democratic vision. This author depicted the jazz and blues rhythms of Black culture in poems like The Weary Blues. For the points, named this African-American poet and central figure of the Harlem. That 4 points for you. One member of this tribe was the wife of the trader Toussaint Charbonneau. The city.
Sacagawea?
That is incorrect. And mine's 2. Shoshone, and that's 6 points for you there. So toss 10, I'm going to do a quick score check. In this event, Rudolf Schnaubelt was twice arrested before he fled prosecution, and Louis Ling's home was investigated. John Peter Altgeld pardoned several men convicted after this event, though Albert Parsons and August Speed. That's incorrect, my suit. Executed for the points named this 1886 bombing that took place during a strike for an 8-hour. That's time, my suit. Just like the Haymarket affair, so you get 4 points there. Okay, so that's 10 toss-ups. Let's see where we are.
That's how it was?
4. Yep.
Okay, so right now we have Shengyu with 0, Jaden with 10, Neil with -4, Sophie with 0, Evie with 9, Keaton with 30, Nived with -2, and Theo with -4. Still 20 questions to go. Could be anyone's game.
For sure. Okay, everybody good? Ready to get started? Okay. Let us continue then with possible 11. This island's Port Elizabeth was designed by George Anton Schaffer, who later attempted to claim it for Russia. This island forms a county with the island of Niihau, privately owned by the Robinson family since the 1800s, ceded to Kamehameha the Great. That's incorrect, my suit. In 1810, this is for the points, what westernmost accessible island in Hawaii? That's incorrect and -2. Known for its historic. That is also incorrect and -2. This is Kauai. So 11 goes dead. We go to toss up 12. The United States fought concurrently in this war and the War of the Second Coalition, and this war was ended by the Treaty of Morfontaine, which was signed between Oliver Ellsworth and Joseph Bonaparte. This war was partially triggered by the XYZ War, and that's 5 points for you there, so you're at 35. 30. Oh, so 30. Oh, that's right. You got an answer. Sorry about that. This is why we have 3 people who can score. Villagers affected by this substance created by Monsanto and Dow were moved to peace villages. Many Vietnamese children had deformities due to this substance. It's 5 points for you. In an attempt to receive a new name from the Great Spirit, this figure tried to avoid falling asleep by holding his eyes open with sticks. In one story, this figure steals fire from the Skookums, and in another creates humanity. That's incorrect. -2. By kicking a ball of mud. For the points named this